Staying put in the pew stinks. Your faith was meant to move. So let's get moving. Hi, I'm Arnie Cole, your spiritual fitness researcher and coach, and welcome to Spiritually Fit Today, where every day is another workout for your soul. One step, one choice, one spiritual rep at a time. And the best way to become a stronger Christ follower tomorrow is to get spiritually fit today, because what you do today matters. Our memory verse for today is Ephesians 4:11 through 12. So Christ himself gave the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the pastors, and teachers to equip his people for works of service so that the body of Christ may be built up. That's us. We're the body of Christ. We need to be built up and be motivated. So CJ, you're all Mr. Sports. You've got your gym. You work for an organization that's all about
sports software,
mentoring, coaching. That's your whole life.
All things.
As a professional. And you're a Christ follower, a strong Christ follower. And
yes, sir.
We want to learn from you today. Yesterday, you mentioned how people, coaches, friends, mentored made a difference for you. And that's great. But you didn't just leave it there. You talked about this cycle that once someone mentored, then you became a mentor, and just how does that work?
Well, in the world of sports, everybody wants to be taught by somebody who knows more than them, right? That's why you pay for coaches or pay for a trainer or pay for maybe a very high-level skill, a hitting coach or whatever that might be, a specific track runner. At the highest level, there's very highly paid Olympic coaches, right? And they're just very skilled in their world. Well, that was because they spent a lot of time, many, many hours, years, their entire life dedicated to that one specific skill. And they're passing that down, and you're investing so that you can be just as learned as them or closer to what you want to be in the sports and fitness world. I do think that's really the exact example that Christ set for us, though. And it's shocking that he wrote it down and put it in a book for us to just read and learn. But between Barnabas and Paul and Timothy, that's the greatest example that was ever set for us to have a mentor, an implementer, and then somebody we should be investing in underneath us as well.
So I think it's interesting, like when I take my grandkids to soccer, and there's these big soccer fields, and there's all coaches and assistant coaches, and they don't get paid much, I'm sure. They're volunteers.
Some are volunteers.
Yeah. And it's just amazing how and the kids are just in there and all of that. But in spiritual life, it's almost the opposite. Like we have the professional coach, the pastor, Bible teacher, and then we take it in. But then instead of getting in the game, it's almost like we become couch potatoes. And granted, in physical sports, a lot of people, they just aren't good enough to play pro and all of that. But it's Christ followers, it's almost the exact opposite. You got the coach, and the players are really just motivated to sit on the couch. What's with that?
Well, I think maybe a good example would be ask those folks that are sitting on the couch or just being Sunday pew participants, how well the game will be played if the coach is the only one playing.
Ooh.
So I think as we think about what that coach's job is, what these spiritual leaders are for us, it's to equip us, to empower us, to go out, to engage in the world, and do the things that he's just helping us to do. She could be one of the coaches on the coaching field, whatever else that might be. They're just teaching us to be able to go do it, whatever that sport or, in this case, sharing the gospel might be. So the game is not played by the coach. They're need to have enough knowledge to do it, to teach somebody else, or maybe to be a good guide for us, but they can't hold 9 positions on a soccer field or 11 or whatever age bracket and then, decipher here how old your grandkids are. Couldn't quite get that age. But the same is true. The coach can't swing every bat. The coach can't run every race. And neither can the pastors or spiritual leaders that God has equipped for those specific roles. It's up to us to get in the game.
So how do we make the change? Because in sports, it's obvious the coach can't play the game because everybody goes out and plays the game. But at least in America, and what we see is the more you rely on the coach, the professional Christian, if you will, the the less likelihood you're going to get into the game.
Well, I think we need first is to acknowledge what's the score. Where are we at?
That's good.
Are we getting ahead? Are we sharing the gospel? Is it rampant all over the world? In some ways, you could say yes, but even in America here, you might say no. Some of us don't like the state of our society today. So who is it up to change that, right? We have to know the score if you're going to correlate that to a sports world. And if we don't like it, and if it's our job and we really feel compelled because of what Christ has done for us to share that, we got to get in the game. But I will say it just takes one step to be in the game. You got to get over the boundary line, or you got to get inside the foul line, whatever else that might be. It's really just about taking one step, and you don't have to be an all-star. Even the guys that are the best of the best aren't MVPs every day. So it takes us really just acknowledging that one step does matter, even one thing. Sharing the gospel with one person, having a coffee with somebody that might just be your neighbor and showing them what a Christ-centered marriage might look like, or raising your kids a certain way might be. You don't have to overwhelm them by beating them over the head with the Bible, right? Nobody's going to go out there and hit every home run, and that's okay. Singles matter. So little things matter.
That is good. So tell me, CJ, what's one way you've seen God work through your mentoring?
First, reflection in my own house, and I think it's up to us to mentor our own children first. And then out to the rest of the world. I think that's kind of his command too. But living the life that I'm called to live is the first level of credibility. We have to be intrinsic first. And then when I want to go mentor or teach somebody else, I have to be credible. So if I'm not doing the things that Christ has called me to do, or if I'm sitting on the backside and telling them not to, they're going to see right through it. So we have to take care of ourselves first so that we're equipped and ready to go out. To me, the most encouraging piece is to watch those kids or my own children or whoever else, another guy I'm having coffee with, the light bulb go off in their head, that suddenly they feel qualified, that God has put it on them that, wow, I can do this too. I can sit next to another guy once a week and go through one verse. I don't have to know the whole Bible. I don't have to know the whole playbook, right? I just can know one play and do that one really well for a while, and then maybe I continue to expand my knowledge. Yes, it's a fitness thing, and every single day, kind of suddenly you start building up, right? I think the guys that bench press 500 pounds didn't start by bench pressing 500 pounds, right? They had a much less smaller weight to carry before then. But you won't gain any strength unless you put more weight on the bar.
So I would argue maybe you were born with that. Maybe, you wake up in the morning and you just want to help people ever since you were 7. I mean, is that true?
Certainly. There could be the case. I think we wouldn't want to neglect what God puts on our hearts, or a gift that he gives us, right?
A calling.
Right, a calling, a purpose, if that's what you want to call it. I think some people are gifted with that, and there's no doubt.
Or more social.
Yeah, absolutely. Extrovertedness or introvertedness, depending on. But I do think we all have a way to relate to somebody else. Because if I'm super extroverted, I'm going to be too overwhelming to preach the gospel in a credible way that an introvert's going to listen to all the time. They're going to shut me off. So we are gifted so that we can reach people much like us. Whether you're a gift of gab person or you're just really good and quiet, sometimes even taking that one small step, the people that are like you, you'll be most relatable to. And I think that's the case why people play certain sports, right? After a while, you find the things that God has really gravitated you towards. And some people spend a lot of time then in those areas. And I don't think we should be ashamed to say why we play or why we're in the game. Right? Won't go too long-winded, but I used to coach for a long time, about 20 years, and this is my first season off. I don't know what to do with myself. But we used to tell the kids, if you use the gifts that God gave you in a small way, you're going to glorify God in a small way. But if you use the gifts and talents that he gave you in a big way, you're going to glorify him in a big way. So that's what we're called to do, whatever that might be. And even if our gifts are to lay quietly with someone and just listen, sometimes listening is a gift, right? Or if it's something even bigger than that, we got to use it to glorify him in a big way.
So this new gym venture, been open 2 months. Congratulations. 3 Pillars Performance.
Yep.
Go there if you're in Lincoln.
Gym's been around for 5.5 years. New location, 60 days.
60 days. I mean, that's going into mentoring.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. And do you see that as a mission field, as a way of reaching the lost?
Absolutely. I think we're blessed because people come to us, whether they're 8 or 80, and they want to improve. No matter what that looks like, they want something more than what they currently have, right? So we're already in a position to say we can help. And my role's slightly different. I used to train a lot of kids, skill positions and other things, and used to be very, very involved in men's ministry and kind of just encouraging other guys to go do other stuff. My role's kind of shifted as a little bit different leader, strategist, if you will. So my role now is to lead the leaders.
And help them with the one-on-one.
And then I see those guys train our 8, 10, 12-year-olds, and I watched how they interact and the high fives and the encouragement and they're doing it great. And that's a place where those kids look forward to going to every day. Quite frankly, the retirees that train with us also look forward to coming in every day. Just a heads up there, Arnie, if you want to come in. Everybody that comes in is coming to a place that they're purposely making an effort. They're making that first step to come in the door, to be better. So we're in a great position to do that. We do get a chance then to kind of see what that would empower them to do outside of the gym too.
And then in the same token, does that motivate you? Then does that float your boat?
That just, the more fire, the better. I mean, I think that's, yeah, to know that I have been blessed in a position to do this and make it even bigger and impact more kids and more families and more dads and more grandpas and wherever else it might be, to live a life that God's called them to live, rather than sitting on the couch, sitting on the pew, whatever it is, doing nothing, gets you nowhere. Matter of fact, and health-wise, I would tell you, it gives you a negative impact.
So someone might argue, oh, yeah, I mean, CJ's got it easy because you can see impact, when you do physical fitness. Maybe not quickly, but much quicker than spiritual impact. What do you say to someone like that who is like, it takes a lot to see any progress? Well,
sure. It's fun to see the encouragement on the kids' face and the light bulb go off there too. But just in my own, and I'm going to be self-reflective, but I don't go into the gym every day and suddenly be able to move more weight than I could yesterday. Not every single day. I think in the same journey of us telling the gospel to people over and over again, there's data out there that says it has to be heard so many times before it's impactful. Right. Well, the same goes through for when you go to the gym, right? You can't just go in and tomorrow you've lost 25 pounds. You can't just expect the first time you share the gospel to have this instantaneous, the sky is parting and God is just delivering the message to this person who's never heard it before. Wouldn't that be awesome, by the way? But it doesn't happen every time. You just have to know that you're playing your part. And every day of consistency, whether it's that time for that believer to learn right then and there and give their life to Christ, it's awesome if that's the case. If it's not, then you are playing your role in that one day of consistency before that person gets to a healthier place tomorrow, whatever else that might be.
So I got a dynamite question for you, CJ.
We'll see how this goes.
No, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. How much time do I spend on head knowledge? How much time do you lecture me? Because, you can hurt there's a lot to it versus action. Understand what I'm saying? So theory, practice.
Well, nothing, if you have zero practice, zero implementation, nothing will change physically in the world of bodybuilding.
Even if I go to the gym
if I read it every day and I don't do anything, even if I walk to the gym and I don't do anything, I'm never going to be a bodybuilder, ever. Okay? So head knowledge or education, which our 3 pillars are education, training, and performance. So if you think about that in a wheel of 3, we have to educate, and not that you need percentages, but let's say we have to educate ourselves. We have to know what we're sharing, right? You have to the coaches and the mentors, sure, to the trainers, the physical fitness trainers, to the Christian, you have to know what you're sharing.
You got to share Jesus of the Bible.
And then you have to be able to take an action step to do something with it. In our world, it's moving weight around or getting your heart rate up for a while, or maybe it's making a decision to not eat every brownie you see.
Or donut.
Pick your choice. Not every 900-calorie drink is a good idea. But then it's also you go to performance, right? I mean, you have to now execute on a bigger plane. You have to share that with somebody else and go out and do something else with it. So in our world of training athletes, it's educate them, train them up, right? Just as the church might do for you. And then it's sending you out into the world, right? To go play your sport or do your thing.
So would you say it's 10% education, 90% practice?
You're probably not far off. I think really? You have to move it.
That's amazing because in Christian circles, it's pretty much 90.
I know.
5 if you're lucky.
Well, we spend a lot of time reading the Bible.
Yes, we do.
If we're really devout Christians. We have daily trackers on our apps and all the things that tell us how consistent
Through the Bible in a year.
That's right. All the things. Boy, check that box. What are we doing with it? What are you doing with it? I can read every bodybuilding magazine in the world. I can read every exercise about how to play baseball, football. Can we play the game? Because wasn't that the greatest commandment, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we have. That's our playbook now, to go and execute it.
That's awesome. That is super. We'll have you back tomorrow. So we got our soul pump assignment today. So show your personal gratitude today by identifying a recent act of kindness or service that someone did for you, and thank God for that person that came into your life and helped you with your salvation. And remember that they didn't sit there on the sidelines, and just meditate on that and thank God for them. And then your personal social connection today, do one intentional act of kindness, whether it's at work or at home, but to someone who you feel could really benefit from what you have to offer. Just that little step forward socially. So remember, Christ didn't call us to follow him alone. So you got to stop this loneliness and just take one little step and reach out to someone who needs him. Open the door for them, tell them how great they look. Whatever it is, just make someone feel special. So remember, always in prayer, ask God to give you a servant's heart. Just like CJ was talking about, get motivated off of movement, spiritual movement of someone else. You know, him watching the kids, he knows how he felt when he was a kid. All of those things you can pray about for God to refresh in your mind how people have made an impact on you so that you can make a positive impact on someone else instead of being grumpy all the time. I mean, think about it. We got to get in the game. So for our quiz time today, remember yesterday I asked you about the ordinary believer used by God to minister to Paul at a pivotal moment in his life. The man was Ananias, and you can read about him in Acts 9, 10 through 19. Now on for today's question. Today I want to know, who did Paul mentor as he grew in the faith? Now I know he worked with a lot of people during his ministry, but I'm thinking of two names in particular. And to give you even more of a hint, he wrote 2 letters to them. I'll share the answer tomorrow, so come on back. In the meantime, leave your answers below or email me at arnie.cole@bttb.org. So before you rush back into your day, pause for a moment, give yourself a slap on the back, and say it mattered. Whether you prayed, you encouraged a friend, you told God about how thankful you are, that small act is shaping your soul for eternity. Remember, spiritual fitness isn't about perfection. It's about showing up daily. So celebrate the step you took today. And if this podcast encouraged you, get someone to join you and build a spiritual fitness community. And most of all, join us tomorrow for another Spiritually Fit Today workout, because CJ's coming back.
Yes, sir.